Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Angelic Alien. It's Reverend Raven Sowell, and it is my absolute pleasure to be with you on today. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. For those of you who are coming back, welcome back, darling. It is always a beautiful thing to have you in the space. For those of you who are new, please know that my videos, they hold a certain frequency, they hold a certain resonance. And so if the information within does not resonate with you, please not attempt to force it to fit, okay? If you are interested in any of my services, you can check those out below in the description. Um, yeah, okay. So just going to go ahead and get into the reading. We're going to invoke for spirit so that we can get a reading to you. All right. All right. We thank you, Mother, Father God, for your presence, for your love, and for your light. We thank you, holy angels and holy ancestors, for your presence. I ask that you allow me to be a clear channel at this time for the collective, bringing about only the messages that serve their highest good. I thank you, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Uriel for your presence. I thank you, all holy Mama Aset, for your presence. Thank you for binding all negative energy and sending it back to the one source created for divine judgment. I thank you, Archangel Zadkiel, for your presence. I thank you for your guidance, for your love, and for moving through stagnant energy, helping me to transmute all things that no longer serves me or the collective. Ashe, ashe, ashe. All right. So we are just going to see what the angels have to say. We're also going to get energy from the Earth Warrior Oracle and the ethereal visions. So very high vibrating energy right now that we are tapping into. Archangel Uriel makes very good sense. So Archangel Uriel coming out right now talks to me about illumination and bringing about information in a way that is going to be able to be understood, but also being able to be practically used. This is about gaining inner power at this time. This is a message of awareness, self-awareness, illumination of the ethereal things, of the astral things, and how those things turn into thoughts that then also are put into action and into practical formation. Ideas into form is what this card says. Right? So this is like elemental information, right? How the elements are like the blockchains of how physical consciousness is created. This is also a message with regards to psychic abilities and how that also has an impact on the forming of certain ideas. Okay. The moon cycles are heavily relevant. So you may find that more information comes to you during moon cycles. You may get deeper downloads during specific moon cycles. This is very heavy on the energy of understanding your spiritual power on both ends of the spectrum, on all levels of the spectrum. So, in some ways, people would see this as like good and bad or bad and evil, but this is having the understanding of all of the different ways in which it can manifest. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Heavy energy on channeling. Very heavy on energy of how the man, the person, the man, the vessel that is embodied by a soul, goes through its own process of like refinement. But I'm seeing like a picture of like coming into a higher knowledge, a higher aspect of your physical man. So this is relevant as to how like you, by you doing your work on your physical man, takes you into a place of ascension and elevation, right? Which is, it kind of feels like duh, right? But no, this is really, some of you need to know this. And it may just be duh, or maybe that's okay, thank you. That's just showing me that that's a part of an aspect that says that, like that judges, that is critical, right? So there's a critical aspect of some of you that doesn't allow you to believe, right? Or think that everyone already know this or should know this information. Okay. But like this is like spiritual development, right? Melchizedek. So this is like I was getting like um the elevation. This is what the Bible is teaching, right? The Bible is teaching that as you are going through these instructions, right, it will help you to elevate. These are the basic instructions that you need before leaving Earth, right? Understanding that there is this. This is being shown in that book. This is being shown in the Quran. This is being shown throughout the sacred text, is that this is possible. And that's what's being talked about right now. We have Mary Magdalene at the back end of this deck here with the divine feminine. So I think this is, from what I'm seeing, this is the elevation of the divine being on earth, the divine feminine on earth, right? The elevation of the way in which you are seeing things and worshiping the energy, the understanding, the enlightenment of that feminine presence. I was gonna say feminine pressure, but it's feminine presence. The more you are seeing it and it's elevating, the better. Then you have like the environmental abundance that comes through, like the manifestation of the physical and abundance comes through as you are um, giving a reverence, a sense of reverence to this feminine energy. Sacred sexuality, as you are understanding the importance of the elevation of your masculine and your feminine aspects, right? This would be what I am seeing as sacred sexuality. Is like the intertwining of, um, I'm seeing is like the intertwining of like snakes or um, the caduceus. I'm seeing that as well, but it's the elevation of these aspects, right? even though that's not like the meaning of, right, this is the intertwining of that, but the elevation and the healing of these aspects is true understanding of sacred sexuality, right? So as you are in a space of elevating and understanding, like having self-love, that's basically what I see that as, is like loving yourself is being able to understand and intertwine with these parts of yourself, your masculine and your feminine aspect from a higher way. So whether the masculine energy is becoming more in a space of loving and accepting and seeing, right, the feminine aspect of self, that's coming through to help to bring it through a higher set of elevation. This is illumination that Uriel is shining in right now. This is the spiritual this is the spiritual development that is happening at this time. It takes study, and the law of attraction is very heavy in allowing those environmental resources that you need to come to that. Is very heavy on the law of attraction. What you need will come to you within where you are in that creation between this in this sacred sexuality. It'll manifest in the way in which you are at this certain frequency of, right, that at the level of attraction, right, to make sure that I don't sound cryptic to anyone, that is very direct, right? So the more and more you are coming to a space of devotion of this divine feminine, right, in the physical aspect, right, the more you're going to be attracting the resources you need to come around you, right, in the abundance. So this is like for your personal self. So the more and more you're respecting and understanding your feminine aspect, your divine intuition, um, the more you are learning and listening to it and giving devotion to it, giving attention, reverence to it, you are going to be in a space of where you are going to get what you need to help you to come to the space of illumination and self-development, right? So the teachers will show up, the books will show up, the information will show up, and you'll be given opportunities. You'll be given opportunities to actually heal those different things within yourselves, like the different trespasses that you have had against yourself, which helps you to elevate. Because these trespasses are like, then they then become like ways in which your mind is able to be used against you, right? So when you lie to someone, or when you are using deception, it has a frequency that it carries, and it's not in the it's at a particular frequency that is still needing to um, elevate, right? So yeah, understanding that this is a time of communication and divine union, right? This is 22 is significant. This is like communication between your lower selves, right? And in a way in which it is then going to actively go to a place of working, to doing the great work to come to this state of illumination. 2 on the clock, that beep, that was confirmation, right? So you'll go through it. It'll look. It says like it's the lower nature, but animal communication to me talks to me of like your lower nature communicating with yourselves, with you, right? To help you to learn these different confirmation, help you to learn these different things so that you will then be able to move past that energy. It may take you a couple of times because it takes a little time for you to actually truly gain awareness of the information that is being presented to you, right? But as long as you are open, right? Being open is to be not in fear. To be open is to be in a space of devotion and trust, right? Of the intuitive to help you to see what you need, because everything's going to be brought to you divinely in alignment with where you are and what you need at that particular time to learn that energy, to learn that lesson, right? So if, say for instance, parents if your parents had certain issues, right, and they didn't overcome those issues, it still gets passed on, right, because it's a part of a collective consciousness that your family is a part of, that you have access to through the non-local mind, right, but also through this collective soul or collective unconscious of your family, right? So you have the ability to channel this energy, and it can run like a program within your reality, continuing to show you over and over again, like what's going on, right? Because it's kind of like there's a theme. There will be a theme that is around it that is information, like your reactions, our reactions to things. These are giving us clarity, right? With Archangel Michael, these are giving us clarity of what is happening so that we are able to say, huh. And so a lot of the times, when you start to do the work, right, you start listening to your spirit, and doing what they're telling you to do, like looking into your family history, asking questions, reflecting on like the past things that have gone on, you'll remember or realize that you aren't the only one. It didn't start with you. You'll start to look back on your family, your parents, and you'll see that they did something very similar to stuff that you're doing, right? And so that is a part of the frequency or the part of the spectrum that is being asked to be illuminated and risen up, right? And so all of the information that you'll need will come from you tuning into this certain frequency, this certain amount of behavior, this certain repetition of behavior of some kind of way, so that with Archangel Raphael it can be healed, right? So this frequency is going to this is okay. So look at it like your mother had a particular way in which either, let's see, she had an issue with a fear of loss in some type of way, right? And so then you recognize that certain behaviors that you have is very similar to the behaviors that your mother has, right? But you maybe have the ability to talk to your mom now and kind of ask her about it, or if not, like they're in the spirit realm and you can't really talk to them directly to get a direct answer, and um, then you will have information that will come to you to give you um, what you need to do in order to help to improve that, right? They'll have different revelations that may come to you, different memories that may come to you of this parent who that can help you with what you have going on in your life right now. Right. So everything is already within you, because like you'll get a flash or you'll get a trigger, you'll get information, but you just have to be paying attention to it and also be aware of how this connects. Right. So bear with me. So when you do this and you're recognizing that this is happening, then you begin to make different decisions, right? So that you are able to work out your soul salvation, because that's what's happening. This is you working out your own soul salvation, right? Because like the reasons why your soul embodied into this line was to learn this particular frequency, to learn this, to understand this, because everything that you learn and become conscious of in this lifetime with regards to your relationships, with regards to who you are as a spiritual being, if you are aware of it at the time that you get ready to leave on up out of here, you are actually going to recall that information to elevate you and to pull your soul higher on the level, so that you will be no longer in the dark depths parts of like the spectrum, right? So we're going to say it like that, right? So whether it, so what that means for you could be like that spectrum, how your life is. You may see your life as being something that is really like, why was I born into this type of life? This is what they're trying to give you clarity on. Is if you were born in a situation where there was a lot of stuff happening. This is also talking about the like the bigger kind of your lesson that you are learning in this lifetime, so that you can elevate. It is all to bring elevation to your soul and to bring awareness to the lessons that your soul signed up to go throughout this lineage. That's what this is, right? So this is what the spiritual development is happening. This is what is happening within the spiritual development to help heal your intuition, so that your intuition is also a part of this spiritual divine gift that you have, right? It is healing this part of you that you are becoming aware of, which is bringing clarity to the fact that everything around you is there to help you to grow in who you are, in the choices and the decisions that you are making in this lifetime to elevate your lineage that you're a part of. Okay. But it starts with you. Okay. So it's kind of like for me, and it may sound harsh, but it's kind of like it's like this soul has come down to basically bring more civility to the animals, right? To bring more civility to the way in which the behavior of the line had been happening, right, or had been acting in. And it's just it's there's no, we love animals, right? We're not the human beings are a form of animal. And so there is this work that is happening to bring them up to be more civilized, right? This is the work that is happening. So you're having communication between your lower selves with your higher self, and then that lower self is gaining reverence for the higher self as you are becoming more and more and more aware through the manifestations of the reality around you. Okay. And you're recognizing that you are, while you may have this body, which is a lower vibration, in some aspects, this you have this body that is of a lower vibration. It does have the ability to have a significant power that is guiding it, right, which is a part of the illumination of being aware of how important it is to have a divine connection with your divine feminine, to be very much in a space of being in devotion, because this is your your intuition that is helping you in this whole thing. This is like the super intelligent part of your vessel, right? Is your intuition, your ability to channel or to connect into something higher to help you to elevate and bring your line up to a certain awareness, a certain intellect, and a certain ability, right? I hope that this is making sense. It is all done in unconditional love, right? It is all done in soft love, heart love, because this divine feminine truly, truly, truly does have an amazing sense of devotion, also for this lower self, right? For this animal self, right? It has a great love for them, like we love our animals. This is the best way that I can put it, and this is how I'm seeing it. It's like how we even love our animals. Like even if humans are a form of an animal, and there is a great there's a great love that is seen to be had by what helped it to be created, or helps it to even be, right? I don't know how to put this. This is hopefully it's making sense. It'll make sense for who it's supposed to make sense for. Holy Spirit. Thank you. Yeah, so unconditional love is very important. Um, there is like, I don't, whenever I talk about it in the lower nature, it kind of, it feels um, judgmental. I guess that's because like that's the frequency that I have to go into. This is really the energy of, maybe this is the belief of you. Like this is the energy of understanding that like humans are very much um like I keep getting like the picture of like an animal, right? That like these are like animals that are communicating with each other and actually learning how to ascend. Like they're learning, they have, I don't really know how to put that. They're learning how to ascend. That's the best way that I can put this. But it's like you're training, you know how like how dogs are getting like really smart, or cats are really smart, or we're realizing that how smart these particular animals are. Like this is like the energy of that what like I'm getting. Like this is what I'm seeing for humans, right? It's like we know that we didn't realize just how smart animals were. The same thing goes for humans. We really didn't realize how smart that you were, right? um, and the more and more we are becoming, the more and more we are like going against that. um, is it going against like not responding in the way in which that closes us off, or out of fear, right? Like lying and deception and doing things that are of a lower vibration. The more and more we're not doing that, like actually the more and more intelligent we become as humans, because then that energy the energy begins to rise up. You're feeding now the wolf that is of a higher vibration, no longer feeding the lower vibrating wolf, if that's a way to, because understanding this is a spectrum again. So the more and more you are elevating in that nature, then that helps you, and then that's um this is then you learning how to control your angels and your demons, because you're learning how to then control, because you can always go back into that lower nature, which is also the reason why they keep showing me or making me, having me to have those feelings of like judgment whenever I go down in a way of thinking, in a way of rationalizing things. You can feel a difference. It's a judgmental energy, and it's of a lower frequency. And so you now have the ability to control your angels and your demons, to control angels and demons, period. Not just your own, but others. Okay. And so you have to learn this before you are able to elevate um, out of hell, right? Just to be very specific. So that's how you go up and down the ladder of ascension. The Fool. I have the Fool, the Knight of Swords, and the Fool here, right? So as I was talking, I'm getting that like there can be very much the knowing. Yeah, there can be very much the knowing that if you are doing your work right, um, that you are coming to very quick information, right? And sometimes it can be used, though, it can be used in a multitude of ways, but it is meant to bring a new beginning, right? And you may have some impulsivity within it, right? Or some really quick ideas that come to you, and you have to understand it, or you are coming from an understanding in like a fool's type of way of the information. Um, like as in you're having faith in what it is that is being brought your way, right? Where other people may see you being foolish, right, or very impulsive. um, this is this is not foolishness or impulsivity because you have started to do the work on your mental realm to help you to be from a place of being very objective to what you're seeing, right? Because you're getting clarity, so you are able to move in a particular way because that's what has actually been being sown for generations, right? For generations, your ancestry has been praying for this type of awareness, this type of spirit, this new beginning to come to the line, right? And all of this stuff is what is right being looked at. This is what has been sown for to be made manifest in the physical world by at least 7 generations, right? By at least 7 generations. And there is a heavy message, a heavy messenger also that is coming with this information. So you may identify as this messenger, right? Um, Divine masculine, yeah. So this is like this is the elevation of the mental realm, or the knowledge, the knowing, the psychology of your particular line, right? So if this is a video that's resonating with you, you are someone who is like the warrior within your family, like the divine masculine energy, right? I said, yeah, the divine masculine energy that is also showing up. So we have the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So the divine feminine is, again, we're coming into this union with this sacred sexuality, right? So this is your masculine energy doing its it's doing its mental work, right? It's doing, like, maybe you're going to counseling, maybe you're going, doing personal work for yourself, but this is meant to bring a wheel of fortune. This is meant to bring a change to a lot of the regret, a lot of self-sabotage, a lot of very, oh my goodness, very combative energy that has been a part of your communities. Listen, I can't make any of this stuff up, man. This is like these cards just have come out like this, right? So this is a 3 of Cups here, which is all about the community that you're a part of, the lineage that I've been talking about that you're a part of. There's been a lot of regret, a lot of milk that has been focused on, a lot of spilled. Hold on 1 second. Those 3 of Cups right there. So those 3 of Cups that they're crying over is the 3 of Cups that have come from the community, right? But they're not recognizing that there are 2 that are behind them, and that's the cup of the union. That's the cup of the union that they didn't even know that they were going to have. The spiritual contract that they didn't even know they had, the spiritual union that they didn't even know that they had coming up. So they were crying over something that has been put on them. So their behavior before their awakening, whoever this is, their behavior before their awakening was one that may be identified as reckless and impulsive, foolish to people, right, within their family, right? But they did not realize that judgment and stuff that comes from the cup of the collective that they're a part of, which has kept them in a cycle of being fearful and restrictive, right, and keeping them to do the same thing over and over and over again, right? And so that cloud basically did not allow them to see the contract, the spiritual contract, because they weren't spiritually awakened yet, right? They didn't know that they had a spiritual union that was going to be coming from their other divine half. Their divine half is this divine feminine that they didn't realize was coming in. And so what has happened is that they've come to a place of where they're recognizing that there has been a lot of self-sabotage that has come through witchcraft due to, like, superstition. Thank you, Spirit. Due to superstition, right? Due to stuff like this collective, the same stuff that got carried and put on, like the same programming that basically was repeated and passed on to him, is an energy that basically had the ability to operate on its own. Again, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how powerful you are, right? You don't realize that even though you're human, you have a power, and the power that you have right now, in even in this vessel, is the power to create or to change things on a spiritual level, right? Because like understanding the human being is all five elements, right? They're all five elements, which allows them to channel different things. And so if these people are like doing a lot of gossiping, they talking, right? They don't realize that they're just talking and doing stuff, but they're not just talking, they're actually doing stuff. They're actually like creating sorrow and misery and generational curses on their people, on their children, on themselves. They don't realize that they're doing that because they don't realize that they're not just humans, and their words don't have an effect. They do, right? And so, but they are super powerful human. These are queens of these particular types of um, elements that they are using, that's in these cups, right? There's water, but like what type of element? Or do they talk? Are they emotional? You know, how are they using this, whatever that this destructive combative stuff? How are they using? Are they using it through their words, through their mental states, their thoughts? Are they doing it through their emotions? Are they doing it through like a physical way, right? How are they doing it? Are they using their hands? Like how are they causing the cloud of a particular of the particular element in which they are doing this warfare on, this spiritual warfare on, right? Because this is, to me, this is the Queen of Wands with the Five of Swords, the Five, and the Five of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles, right? Yeah, I have five fives, right? I mean, sorry, I have three fives here. So this is like, we know for sure that through the mental realm they use air magic, they use emotional magic with these cups, they use wand, they use spiritual magic with those wands, right? And they also are incredibly powerful as a community, right? And so this particular lineage is in a place of where it is elevating with this wheel of fortune, right? This is it is now time for it to wake up to its divine masculine self, which isn't like of like an animalistic type way. It is very it is very much not here for the lower stuff. It is very much here for let's put stuff in order and let's do things in the way in which we need to get them done, right? In order, right? And then that's coming into connection with your divine feminine energy, right? So there is this elevation, this wheel of fortune that is coming, that is meant to bring out a new foundation for you in your life, right? If this video is resonating with you, this is an understanding of what is happening. Okay, and so the choice is yours, because it doesn't matter. You're going to get the exact reality that you need, and all of the information will be there available for you to make the right decision. And that will be how in which um, you actually get on to the next space, right? To the next course. Are you gonna go and do that thing again? How many times are you going to have to go back through that again? Are you learning it at a new way? This is justice, divine karma, right? Ten of Pentacles. And then the Empress has come out. I cannot lie about this with this Page of Cups. So your imagination has been renewed. Your the divine justice has been called, so that so then that the resources will be opened up, the physical abundance will be opened up, right? You know, you have the ability to imagine whatever it is that you'll be able to imagine in a whole new way. This is you coming to a whole new understanding of your imagination, the power of your imagination, um, the power of your vessel. Thank you. Right. So it isn't just a lowly thing. It has a power, right? Even if you don't realize that you're doing it, you still have a power that you are supposed to be learning here, right? And that power is what then um, helps you to navigate between the angels or your angles, and your demons, right? The different stuff that presents itself, right? Because we don't talk about the fact that these this community that you're a part of, the thoughts, the magic that they have manifested, right? These have become like life forms of their own, right? And so these are like, I talk about these egregores. These are these different thought forms that have been given energy through the groups, collective agreement of, giving it attention. And as you give it attention and you give it energy, you have to feed it. You're feeding it, right, with the continuing of whatever type of stuff you're doing that then that contributes to certain situations happening in people's lives, right? Because the elements you begin to talk stuff over people, right? um, or the family was talking things over people, and then certain situations would happen, then the individual would react or respond. This is you feeding these different elements, I mean these different egregores. You're feeding them by the responses that you have. This is like the vampiric energy, right? So it collectively these thought forms have begun to um, act, so that if you continue to respond in a particular way, you continue to feed it, they continue to grow, right? So that it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Or say, for instance, like there are things where you don't talk about them, right? There are generational things that have happened. There have been incidents that have happened within the family. Everybody knows about them, but nobody talks about them, and then they just stay within you, right? Those things grow because they trigger other things. You get triggered by those memories. You get triggered by that information from other things that you don't even know you're being triggered by, right? And so it's a club. A clinical supervisor of mine uses um, that is like a tar that stays within you and it keeps you stuck. It keeps you from moving, right? And so when that's also a type of way in which they're able to feed off of it too, because you're triggered left and right by other things, and you are then it can turn in on yourself and begin to damage your physical vessel, right? And this is how this is why mental health is so important. This is why us eating and all of that different thing has an impact on certain things, right? So when we are either participating in this behavior through us actually talking and speaking stuff over people, or if we're emotionally responding to things, we are still having this ability um, to feed these different types of entities. And so as you get to a place of where you are conscious of them, it will be less likely for them to be able to be held against you, because that's what comes up. Like these certain things come up whenever you're dealing, and so either you get defensive or you get to a place of where you shut down. There's just like a lot of different things that can come up when these certain aspects are triggered within you, because that's basically their purpose, is to drain you, because that is a way of draining you. Like the more and more it happens, it has an impact on your body. All right. So yeah. Let me close this up because I don't. It's going like really long. Um, let's see here. Let's see. Um, okay. We have honor the light. Honor the light. You see that? Show you the picture. Honor the light. So we have emotional entanglements and struggle and trouble happens all too easily. Yet you are a light worker, a light barrier, one who is divinely designed to receive and transmute light for profound benefit to all beings, including yourself. Esteem the light within. Know your prayers are always answered. Cultivate resilience on the light. Cultivate reliance on the light. You have more influence than you realize. You possess the innate ability to attract healing energy and evoke divine intervention. This is your sacred human birthright. Don't be afraid to use your light in all ways possible to generate benefit. You have the power to create and shine with love's wisdom. Listen, I cannot make this up. With love's wisdom. You have the power to create and shine with love's wisdom. When you act from a place of love and openness and not fear, you will create and shine with love's wisdom. So when you make decision, like when you don't lie, when you don't play into the programming, right, the darkness, the sleep, you will create in another way. You will create, everything will vibrate at the place in which you are responding from. Okay. Listen, Six of Wands, victory, recognition of it. We thank you, Holy Spirit. I'm gonna close this off. Okay. Power awakening. Okay. The Puma. Sacred soul medicine of Puma is an expression of divine potency as a accomplishing force. Such medicine gathers in secret recesses of the soul, stealthily increasing as you cultivate intention and capacity under a cloak of protective privacy until you instinctively sense the opportune moment and externalize your energy. Garner your inner reserves. Increase your energy by practicing self-respect and self-possession. Patiently prepare and ready yourself. Bide your time. You will recognize the moment to leap and you will do so decisively. Whatever it is that you dream of attaining, Puma arrives with this message. You have the power. Okay, so I hope that this message was an assistance to you. If it was everywhere, I do deeply apologize, but it is going to resonate for the person it is supposed to resonate for. I thank you, Holy Spirit. I thank you for allowing me to be a clear channel. I close off this channeling, sending back all of the energy to the One Source Creator, thanking you for allowing me to be a clear channel for the collective. I call back all of my energy to me, whole, healed, and transmuted. I send back all of the energy to the viewer, whole, healed, and transmuted. Ashe, ashe, ashe. You be blessed.